Well, hello there. Today we're going to talk about honeypots and some of the things that you really need to do if you're going to be going down the path of a honeypot. So first, what is a honeypot? So a honeypot, in fact, I'm going to have some posts here. It's kind of a way to deceive someone. So it's a resource that's out there that people shouldn't be hitting. And if they do, it triggers something. And that's kind of more of a tripwire, but that's okay. If you're going to take an exam, you're going to need to know this very specific differences between the different types of honeypots versus a canary versus a tripwire. But for the most part, let's just talk about a honeypot is something that someone accesses that they think is something useful or something that might help them, that is actually something that's letting you know that someone's accessing something that they shouldn't. It could be as simple as a URL that has no links to it. It can be a lot of things. There are specific tools set up to enable you to do a honeypot pretty quick. But I'm going to have this blog I found. I thought that's pretty good, and I really like the fact that it says, if you need to do decoys, is kind of the route with honeypot. So, but I have a couple things here that I'm going to suggest that you read to give some additional information. They'll give a really good understanding. So this Fortinet one's good for those who are taking exams. Because it will help you understand the different types of honeypots, a pure honeypot versus a highly interactive one, mid-interactive, low. And there's different types. So, for example, a database honeypot would be one that is SQL-based. And if someone does SQL, it returns information. The cool thing is, in this day and age, you could actually have an AI large language model like ChatGPT be your database honeypot, and people could write queries against it, and you could have it return fake data. So I mean, that's something that's exciting and new. It's a lot better than it was in the past. So you actually could have AI help make these even better. But really, a honeypot's only useful if you're doing something with the information, that someone's hitting it and using it. So that's where I really think you need to be doing some security orchestration. So, sorry, that was a bit annoying. Security orchestration. You need to be doing some security orchestration. So what this means is that when you get some type of an event, usually through in fact, I should bring that up, is SIEM as well. So here's SIEM. SIEM is where you're collecting events and stuff and trying to understand what's going on. Security orchestration takes that a step further, and it does something with it. So if someone hits your honeypot and starts to interact with it, or even if they just hit it, maybe you want to identify what else they're doing at your site. And then if there's enough suspicious stuff, maybe you want to automatically block them for a certain period of time. Or maybe not. Maybe you want to alert someone and get actual human eyes on it. So there are different options that you can do. And depending on what's right for your organization is what steps you'd take. Sometimes you want to watch what people are trying to do. And other times you just want to block it. You just don't want to worry about it. The problem with just blocking it is then that means, okay, the people who are looking at your stuff knows that you're taking those automated steps and they've been caught. So they'll just keep doing other stuff until you get caught again, and they can come from different IPs. There's lots of things. So I don't necessarily think the blocking is the best, especially if it's someone that what if they took over a partner of yours company and they're coming from those IPs? And then you block it for a little bit, and now you can't do any business with your partner for a certain period of time because they've been compromised. Anyway, so another thing that I like with honeypots is tying it with like a DNS sinkhole. So if actually letting someone take over a box, but have that box on a special network, and that as they go and try and do different things, it keeps track of what they're doing, and it just sends nothing ever comes out. So, but it'll take the requests. So there's a lot of cool things. So I'll go ahead and link this all. The main thing is honeypots are there to help you identify who is currently looking at your organization. Okay. There can be false positives here. A time when you say, hey, this looks like malicious activity, but it's not. Great example is when, for example, a search engine crawls you to see your stuff. They might trigger your honeypot. So you don't want to block those. Usually you don't. Then on top of that, just because you have a honeypot doesn't mean it's going to be useful at all unless you're doing something with that information. So taking a honeypot, you need to go the step further and actually do something with it. Reporting on it, and then ideally automated response with SOAR. And then how far do you take that? So I hope you've enjoyed this. Lots of cool little readings that you can do. I'll link those all down below. Let's do one more thing before we finish up. Why don't we create a page that could do that? So there's a couple different ways we could do this. We can do it with EC2 or S3. Really easy in AWS. Let's go the EC2 route. So yeah, let's go down the EC2 route. So if we go down the EC2 route, the first thing I'm going to want to do is start an instance. So let's go ahead and launch an instance, and I'm going to call this honeypot. Well, let's see. Honeypot fun. Amazon Linux, come down here. The Linux AMI architecture's fine. Micro, key pair name. So this is where, I need to add, we'll just use Wokey. I don't care. I'm not going to do really much anything with this. So create a security group. So with this, I want to allow HTTP traffic. I should set these up as HTTPS, but not getting there yet. And I want to go to advanced details. Okay. And under here, there should be, I think at the bottom right here, user data. Okay. So user data is a way to run a bunch of commands on start. So I'm going to come here. This page I'll link down below as well. So running commands on your EC2 at instance start. Just going to come down here. I'm going to grab this script, and we're not going to use this script. It does way too much. In fact, I'll explain it as I'm doing things. You saw them doing this in the Learner Lab. So bin bash. This is the shebang. So that's the startup script. Doing an update to the system. It's always good to update your system at first. I'm pretty sure when they first instantiate, they're updated anyways. It's doing Amazon Linux extras, install LAMP. So this is MariaDB, PHP, and then the HTTP and MariaDB. So I'm going to get rid of, I don't want Amazon Linux extras. That's interesting. So I'm going to get rid of all those. So all I want is the ability to get a web page up. Okay. So what if you notice, I'm removing things. That's a really good security thing, is to only install the things that you need. Okay. So I'm just going to be installing HTTP. The next thing it does is system control start HTTP. So that's going to start it, installs it, starts it, and then this enable is going to tell it to auto start. Okay. So those three things, install, starting it, and telling it to auto start every time the computer starts. Now it's going to do a user modifying the EC2 user and adding it to group Apache. That's okay, I guess. And chown the var www to group to have user Apache change the. So this is modifying EC2 user, and since we're installing Apache, which is HTTPD, adding it to the group, changing the ownership of this directory, var www. That's where web pages and stuff are going to sit. So that way, EC2 user will be the user that's over it and be able to do stuff, and the group is still Apache. And so since EC2 users in that group, the group's going to be able to do stuff. Chmod 2775. So we're going to ignore this one. It's a sticky bit. I think I know which one that is, but I'm off the top of my head, I don't want to give you bad information. So these are our permissions. The others. 7 is read, write, and execute. So read, write, and execute to user, read, write, and execute to group, and read and execute to everyone else. Do we need execute for everyone else? The answer is unfortunately yes, to be able to navigate the folders. Only for folders though. So in fact, if you look here, the next one is it's saying, hey, we're changing the mod, the same command for directories to execute. But all files, we're taking that execute bit off. So the execute bit's number 1. Read is 4, and write is 2. So 4 is read only. So you can only read files, but you'll be able to get into folders. Okay, so that's good. And then this is putting PHP in there. I'm going to change this because I did not install PHP, index.html, and I'm just going to put this instead of PHP info. I'm going to echo I caught you with my honeypot, and I'm going to say some of the things that I think you should do if you get caught. This has been logged. Your IP. And I'm going to say you are being watched. We will not let you hurt our systems. So really, you wouldn't tell this to hackers. But cool. So we'll do that. By the way, this is not HTML. If you want to do HTML, I have an entire playlist that goes down that. I mean, I do it in a different area. But I will, let me find that really quick. And I will link it down below as well. Yeah. I just updated my Fedora and I'm having a hard time snapping my tabs back in, but that's okay. Okay, so coming back here, cool. So we have that, this user data, which I'm going to copy that so I can put it down below as well. If you see my head going pretty far, it's because I actually have 3 screens. I have my laptop screen, 1 screen, and another screen. So that's how I do my recording. But anyway, okay, so cool. So I have that. I'm going to say launch instance. Now, a few things while this is launching. I had it create its own security group. That's not good because you're going to have lots of security groups being created over time, and that's going to cause some issues. So it would be good to have named security groups, or at least reference security groups that are designed specifically. And if you have to change a security group for, say, all your web servers, you can change it. But okay, so we have this instance. So I should be able to go to it, get its IP address. So it's running, it says. So let's see if I copy this and I paste it here. It's not available yet. It's still thinking about it. So all I have is, well, and it's probably installing stuff still. All I have is a web page that it's doing. So I haven't done any of the additional steps since then. So the next thing I'd have to do is identify where the logs are. If my HTTPD is not logging sufficiently, make that logging better. And then I'd have to be able to trigger something off it. Now, there's another way I could do this. I could actually have the web page be a server-side execution that could then do some logging stuff. Granted, that could possibly open you up to other issues and vulnerabilities. So let's see if this is gonna work. It should be. They usually don't take too long. You know, let's see if I can connect to this. So you can use Instant Connect to connect to these via, because I didn't change it to be my key, online to see what the status is. So, and it logs you in automatically. I'm just going to see sudo netstat -tnlp, and it shows me, I don't see port, oh, there's port 80 right here. So port 80 is up and running. It's thinking. While it's thinking, let's just double check the security group. I did allow port 80 from anywhere. Sometimes things don't work the way you expect them, but HTTP is installed. Let's just double check. So the instance data, I put it into var www html. So if I cd var www html, sometimes, so there's my index, more index.html. Yeah, I caught you. So that is there. It is up and listening. So do I have to tell it /index.html? I shouldn't, unless it's not configured well by default, and it might not be. I'm expecting that I still have an issue with, is this, oh, HTTPS, haha. That's not going to work. So because I'm only doing HTTP. So there we go. I caught you with my honeypot. And what the issue is, by default things are secure now, and I'm not doing HTTPS with this. So what did we do? We talked about honeypots. We talked about the additional things that you need with them. We're giving you a bunch of resources down below, and we actually installed a page that we could do as the initial start of a custom honeypot. We didn't actually install any specific tools that are honeypots, but you can use almost anything as a honeypot. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and we'll see you in the next one.